I discovered my love of baking when I was growing up and we were always surrounded by delicious cakes and biscuits, and it all snowballed from there.
I discovered a love of baking when I went back to uni as a mature age student, and I would procrastinate all the time.
I discovered a love of baking, I think when I was in high school. I had a really good home economics teacher and she inspired me to bake.
I discovered a love of baking when I was quite little. I've always loved looking through cookbooks and especially the Women's Weekly birthday book back in the day to pick the best cakes.
I discovered a love of baking at 20 when my parents bought me my first stand mixer.
I discovered a love of baking when I was younger at Easter and Christmas times when my family would bring cakes and different things and breads out of the oven. And as I grew older, I learned about our ancient baking techniques and decided I'd try to revive them myself also.
I discovered my love for baking when I first moved into Australia and I started missing the bakes from my home country, Philippines.
I discovered a love of baking when I was little, helping my mum in the kitchen, and I just found that love of baking with my mum.
Baking has been a part of my life through my grandparents and my mum. I never quite discovered it, it's just always been there.
I discovered a love of baking when I was really little, and we had a Polish woman looking after us and she taught me how to bake.
I discovered my love for baking when I made my first chocolate cake with my aunt at around the age of 12.
I discovered a love of baking when I was younger at school holiday programs. In the kitchen, I was always helping out. One of 6, and I'm a very messy baker. Mum told me to stop baking, and I fell in love with baking about 4 or 5 years ago when I attended a class.